whoever was scoring for the Knicks. I just don't see not only them being able to emotionally recover, but as May said, like, I'm just not sure about Donovan Mitchell's ability to make the right play when the lights get super bright and the leverage moments get super high. We saw it in Game 7, but we also saw one hell of a performance from Sam Merrill. We saw Max Strus pitch in. We saw Evan Mobley do his thing and Jared Allen. Everything needs to go perfect in order for the Cavs. And it feels like when things go wrong, Donovan Mitchell goes away from the things that makes him successful, which is a problem. But in terms of James Harden, I don't know how you can put him on the floor in those late game situations if he's going to get picked on like that so blatantly, where Mike Brown is saying, well, we knew we had to just go at him over and over and over again.
Yeah, he was coming on picks just looking for James Harden, right? So I'm like, my goodness, y'all got to put him at the 3. You got to put James Harden at the 3 right now. And he's having so much success against James Harden. It's like one of those plays. If I go off the pick and they switch, I'm coming back over the pick so I get the guy, pause, that I want guard me, which is James Harden. And a few times you see Jalen Brunson doing this, and it's like, that's what I mean by the basketball point guard IQ. That's those things that point guards think about. Like, I don't have to get the shot you're giving me. I can get the shot I want to get whenever I want to get that shot. That's the difference between a combo guard sometime and a point guard, knowing and having the patience to be able to get the shot you want. This is why you've seen Phoenix struggle, even sometime when they have Devin Booker at the point, or Russell Westbrook at the point, right? He's learned to play point, but he's not a point. He's a combo guard, probably played combo guard all the way through AAU and just fit the role for a little bit, but never was able to get a championship because exactly what we're talking about. Well, and sometimes people be like, Mace be all over the place. Maybe I'm just too intelligent, and I'm just gonna just hang my hat on that. To your point, Mace, about Jalen, when they decided sort of late in the game that they were gonna blitz him or double team him, Jalen's not like gonna force it when he's getting collapsed on. Pause. Like, give the ball to the open man, and now you got OG Anunoby straight line drives to the basket. Like, that was just some absolutely dog shit coaching that we watched to be able to lose that game and do all of those things wrong. And obviously bad execution from the rest of the players as well. Like, I cannot believe, if I was a player on that team, I would have called the timeout my goddamn self. Yeah, and even more, right? Because I love Devin Booker as a player. I'm harping on this situation so to make sure Stat understands it, because sometimes they try to act like I'm not making sense. Even when you think of Cade,
I didn't say anything.
Even when you think of Cade Cunningham, right? He's not a point guard.
Agreed.
They got him in this position of playing point guard, and this is how this series got away from them as well. Even though he's getting 29, even though he's getting 28, it's not the flow that causes a team to get a championship. But what do I know?
And same point, Mace, with Orlando. Orlando doesn't have a true point guard as well. They try to use Paolo in that spot. They try to use Jalen Suggs in that spot. And then shooters that go to Orlando, because you don't have a pure point guard getting you the ball in the spots that you want them, how you like to receive the ball, pause. Now a 40% three-point shooter is fucking broke.
Shoulders.
This is what we're talking about, Stat. This is where we're going these days. Like, Kyrie is a point guard. Chris Paul, point guard. People that can score, they love to play with these kind of guards because they get you the ball where you're the most dangerous. When you're playing with combo guards, it's like, this is my shot, next shot is your shot, and they hardly ever run plays. It's like just taking turns with skills. Pause.
Yeah. I just want to know. I don't know why you keep saying I'm not understanding what you're saying, because I do understand what you're saying. But if we can make some understanding, this is a question for both of y'all, because I seen this on Twitter earlier and I was like, that's a good question. Does Jalen Brunson have a nickname? Does he have a nickname? Because like I feel like like the Flyers said like Spida versus Brunson, and then you'll call Wemby the alien, and SGA is SGA or Shea, but like, does Jalen Brunson have a nickname, and why does he not? You know, because in New York, y'all give people nicknames like when you rocking with them. Like, I got my nickname. I got Stat. Trista got hers, which it doesn't got to be T Diddy. It could be something else. But where's his nickname? Why did New York give him a nickname?
That's a great point, Stat. How has that man played in New York all these years without a nickname? In the hometown of getting a nickname. I wasn't off of the plane 5 months and I already had a nickname from Jacksonville, Florida. So I don't know how he's done all this work and not get a nickname. They got to come up with one.
They got to give him the Brunson burner.
Nah, come on.
He doesn't like that.
It's too long. It's too long.
It is.
The people in the comments right now, go ahead and tell us what should be Jalen Brunson's nickname for the plan that he has done. Now you remember Jeremy Lin, he was only playing for 2 weeks and he got a nickname. So come on now, New York, we got to do better.
Yeah,
you got to do better.
Yeah, no, I think it's a valid question. I was just curious. So like Mason in the comments, let us know.
What was Jeremy Lin's nickname?
Insanity.
Linsanity.
Linsanity. Come on,
and that's
man.
tough.
Sanity.
That's tough.
Tough.
I like Linsanity. I like Greek freak.
Man.
I like those are lit. Like hey, Brunson, he deserves. I think he definitely deserves. Okay, but it's good though. You can't tell me it's not the Greek freak. What?
Yeah.
Greek freak leak. I have a question for you guys about the Knicks. So I saw this trending online too. Stat, you made me think of it. So say it's Spurs Knicks, right? And you get to see Wemby game 3 in the Garden. First game of Wemby in the finals in the Garden. What's the most you would pay to get into Madison Square Garden?
That wouldn't pay at all.
I mean, I usually don't have to. But like if
you get away with it,
if I was in a situation where I had to pay, I would pay to go see Wemby in the Garden. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Pay 5? Would you pay 5?
Like, that's the problem. Realistically, I don't know what people are paying, but I know that it's a lot. Would I pay $5K to go see Wemby play in the Garden?
Good seats.
Why not? No, especially if you're a Knicks fan, why not? Because of this, like, I'm trying to imagine I'm Sin, right? And I'm like, yes, the Knicks, this is our year. And we got Wemby in the Garden. You know how Sin be. He don't talk like that, but he talks in his Sin way. Would I pay five bands? Probably. If you're a real fan, why would you not? It's Wemby in the Knicks. And then if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm like, we're crushing Wemby. So yeah, I'm paying $5.
Or even a Spurs fan, like say you're Cam, like you gotta be in there.
This is my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Mace, you and Cam both should be there anyways, my opinion.
He gotta go because this is his team. He definitely gotta go. In New York, that would be really interesting to see him in New York rooting for San Antonio. I think that would make them that might be worse than them asking me to show up with show up with the Locks versus Dipset at the Versus, right? You can't do that.
That's crazy. But the crazier thing is, though, he still would do that. Like, New York's going to want to pose. Madison Square Garden's going to want to pose and be like, dang, but he's wearing Spurs gear. Like, what do you do?
I don't think he'll do that. He crazy, but he ain't that crazy. He might be. Who knows? He might be crazier than that. Killer, if you're watching this, I know. I don't think he should do it. But, I've seen
Would he go?
crazier things from people.
Would he go like split
Not
jersey,
him.
like the moms, like when like Ron
That would be
Harper
fire.
with Dylan and Ron Harper Jr. if they would have met in the finals? Would he go like half Knicks, half Spurs?
Yeah, but if he wears Knicks, it would have to be number 70, whatever year they won it.
Yeah, you gotta go throwback.
That would be really good.
Gotta go throwback. That's a great question. Though,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll ask. I always gotta ask certified Knicks fans what they would do, and they'll probably say yeah. So that's what I think. Okay. So the NBA announced that this is actually the most watched playoffs in 29 years, averaging 4.5 million viewers per game across all networks, which to me is not a shock because I don't know anybody not watching these games right now. But Mace, what do you think has been the biggest reason for these ratings? Like, do you think it's better young stars? Do you think it's better storylines? Do you think it might solely be the locations of these teams? In your opinion, what do you think is the biggest reason?
In the notes that you sent me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said the rating was at what number? What exact number?
Averaging 4.5 million viewers per game across all networks.
All right. I thought it was higher before. For some reason, it seemed like it was higher. Like right now, we might be at, according to ChatGPT, it says that they were at 9 million. Then it says that it was at 10 before that, 11 before that, 11 before that, and 12. So I'm not sure if ChatGPT they need to be reset because a lot of the information is.
I will say, because I have a problem with ChatGPT, I ain't gonna lie, because I do, because one, you have to type in things exactly the way that you're trying to write it, because if you don't, it can sometimes misconstrue exactly the question that you're asking. And two, it pulls from a lot of multiple different sources. Sometimes it's not one main source. So your best research is always going to come from the NBA website or NBA stats or things like that. ChatGPT is good. Sometimes, not all the times, you got to double check it. I have.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Stat, because people asking me, do I study? I'm like, I study, but there's different ways you can get information these days.
Yeah.
And it's sad when you're an expert and you get the wrong information, because my heart is to always have the truth, and anytime my mouth opens, pause, is to tell the truth about what I'm speaking about, so people can trust that what I'm saying has been verified and it has been, came from a reliable source. So when I think of this NBA playoffs, I think the playoffs is phenomenal now, because you're not seeing stacked up teams where people just jump ship and ran with other teams. And I think people that love the game is now enjoying the game again, because you're watching people compete. If I load the team, I don't have to compete as much. Right now, we're seeing people compete. We're seeing people exert their will to win. Like you see players that still get mad when other people are getting awards before them. All of that is a part of what it takes to compete on this higher level. And I think people appreciate that. And not to mention that these are a lot of teams that used to be really good, right? So we're used to, back in the days, seeing a Detroit Piston play. So this is why when they start winning, all of the greats came out. You saw what's his name, Mahorn. You see Dumas. Isaiah Thomas might peek his head in the building. And then you saw the same thing when it came to these other teams. So now you got people showing up. I remember when the Knicks was about to win, there was a lot of people coming to those games that we haven't seen in a while. We're even now seeing the Knicks bridge, marketing wise, the older Knicks with the newer Knicks. Like there's commercials out there with John Starks, with Josh Hart, and that's a beautiful thing to see when you see legacies come together like that. And I think all of that together is causing a great infusion that's making people celebrate. I think there's time for everybody to be like that in all genres of creativity. Because when you see John Starks there, you see Ewan there, or you see even what's his name, Spike Lee, and then you see Josh Hart and you see Jalen Brunson and all of them on a mountain hiking or wherever they was, it brings all of the fans together. It's kind of like what I learned to do in music, right? I take a beat from this time, take a chorus from this age, and then put a new style of rap on it, and then you put it all together, and that's how you sell many millions of records, because you got fans coming in from different places and different reasons. Make the check payable to Mason Betha. I just gave y'all a hit.
Wow, that was like game. I didn't know we were gonna get music stuff. I always get so excited when you give us music nuggets. Thank you for that. Wow. I have a question for you about music, because I asked Cam and Cam left me on red, but I bet you know the answer to this. He's doing a million things. But Cam's
shout out
flow,
to Killer. Cam did really good on First Take.
He's killing First Take.
He did really good. Really good.
He did. He's got Stephen A on his toes, which I like a lot. Cam's flow was different on Horse and Carriage. How did that evolve? His flow from what it was then, from Horse and Carriage to what we hear now, from that to Purple Haze to all of that. Because if you listen to that song, it almost doesn't even sound like him in terms of the cadence that he would rap in. And that obviously was a song with you, so you knew his flow obviously on a close basis back then.
I wasn't there for a lot of the music per se after I don't know exactly the time, but I wasn't there for the writing of Horse and Carriage. I did the I'm not sure if even the chorus was probably Cam's idea, and he wanted me to sing it. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly what happened. I know we had fun, recording the record, but I think his vocals was already on it. I think more of the SDE vibe, or more of the early mixtape Cam is more what I was there for. No, I wasn't there for any of the diplomatic things, but that was dope too. But that was a different Cam.
Definitely. And the evolution of cadence and flow is like super interesting to me, and how it felt like it was a pretty dramatic shift from then to
like when he was
else
rapping, when he was rapping. I think I was a part of that. When it became more like swag and cadence, I wasn't a part of that.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'll answer your question though, Treasure. I think a lot of it has to do with the transition to kind of what Mace is saying, but on the flip side too. I grew up with NBC. NBC, Sunday NBC basketball, NBA on NBC. That sound, the round ball rock sound, like all of those iconic moments resonate with me on a nostalgic level. And so when they brought that back, I feel like the energy around the excitement increased, but also you could tell that the people that they hired have a deep love and enthusiasm for the game and telling stories around the game, and not just disparaging the game for comedic sake or to put on a good show. And you see that to a degree, right? Yeah, you see that to a degree with TNT. You see it to a degree even with ESPN. But when they brought in NBC and they brought in Amazon, both of those networks had a commitment to making fans smarter and to elevating the excitement of the game. And I think it forced ESPN's coverage to shift and change as well. And then just NBC is easier to find. So I think moving to NBC, and as hard as it is to find on Amazon when you're at a hotel, you're traveling, I think just the way that the network shifted things made those ratings go up. And then also you had, multiple game 6s, game 7s as well.
Yeah, and some people may have thought the ratings was gonna go down because the playoffs almost seemed like exclusive. Like you had to have the app. All right, if I'm going to watch the game, part of why some of the earlier games I didn't see is because it was on the app, right? So I'm thinking this is like old times. I'm gonna be able to take my flight, and then while in the middle of my flight, I could watch the game. But it was not happening, and I thought that was crazy that I had to come back and watch it on the DVR and play the game back. But that was pretty interesting to really shift the whole culture and put the finals on an app called Peacock. I think that was one way you have to watch it, and then you have to go through Amazon Prime, and I have Amazon Prime, but at that time I couldn't use it on the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really gutsy to make that move on such a major part. But they say that when you can make the money, that's when you make the money. So that's why you never get upset. People have to make shift and do things because that's when you can make the money. You can make the money. It's a new thing out there when it comes to the NBA. Everybody wants 20 years of the NBA. Now I miss it going dun, 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 you know, but we're not in that time no more, you know. I'm a classic. I like classic. I like the stuff that everybody, you know, grew up with. I don't ever want them to change the flag, you know. Certain things I don't think supposed to change.
Yeah, it is a lot of platforms. Like you said, Peacock, YouTube TV, then there was League Pass, then there's Amazon Prime, but DVR. DVR? Where are you using those?
I'm a classic.
I don't even know how to use one of those.
You don't know what that is?
I don't recall using those. I know what it is, but like when would I?
You could save the shows. Like I got 100 games. I'm one of those people. Like I go back and I even watch like championship games from years before. Like so, I really be knowing what I'm talking about. That you'll hit the button and go, wow, that's crazy. Why do you watch those? I like to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised. Know what you're talking about.
Got it. Cleared. One more question, just because since we're going down memory lane. What was your first like gaming console? What did you play? Like, what was your first one that you remember having?
It was called Atari. You know what Atari is? That
I've heard of it.
It was the cartridge. You used to have to go. Yeah, and then
that was a lot.
on a TV with the hanger on the TV with the hanger.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
Came along.
Red card.
Can't picture that, but
red card.
No flag on the play.
The game was about this big. You had to keep pushing.
It had some girth to it.
Down.
Yeah, different times. Classic, if you will. Because, yeah, I didn't...
Stat, have you ever heard of Duck Hunt?
No. I have no idea what that
It was literally just a duck, and they gave you a gun. And then you just shot the duck.
I have no... Like, my first game was probably the Nintendo DS. I don't know what Duck Hunt is. I never used an Atari and never used a DVR, but I love that for y'all. Mace, that's what I say, right? I love that for y'all. I need to find where they're at.
If somebody said Atari, they're telling you their age. So if you say Atari, you're like, wow.
Super.
That's like before VCH. I mean, yeah, VCR, all that.
Super throwback. But like you said, y'all like the classics. I love that.
I'm Nintendo, the first Nintendo. I'm a little bit later. Yeah. I'm after Atari, but there was no PlayStation. It was still blowing on the little cartridges.
Little cartridge.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, G.I. Joe.
Just to get that to go. Okay, speaking of somebody who had to go, the Mavs announced that they had decided to mutually part ways with head coach Jason Kidd, who went 205 to 205 across 5 seasons, leading the Mavs to a Western Conference Finals appearance in 2022, then an NBA Finals appearance in 2024. Mace, do you think this was the right call for their organization? We know the Mavs been through, especially in recent years, but what are your thoughts?
The Mavs is not playing with niggas, for real. I don't know who's behind the scene with the Mavs that's doing this, but the last couple of years, the Mavs is saying, listen, ain't nobody safe around here. Do your job or lose your job.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of environment. I really do like that kind of environment. You do your job, because it's not for me to do your job. You do your job or you lose your job. And it seemed like when they did this with Luka, you would have to know that Jason Kidd could be fired if Luka could be traded, right? That's another take about this. Sometimes people say, well, they're just bugging out in Dallas. But I remember, a long time ago, we were talking about the Dallas Mavericks and that the new owner was doing everything in their power to move them to Vegas. And it seemed like another one of those things. Like, they're going to change as many things as possible. They traded AD. They got rid of Luka. They still got Kyrie there. Who knows what their plans are? Tomorrow, they could just say, you know what? We're going to trade Kyrie too. I wouldn't be surprised. This is what they're doing. They're bugging out in Dallas. Who's ever there, let's pray for Dallas, man. Because for real, Dallas is tripping. You can't get rid of Jason Kidd. Not with the debacle of everything that's been there. You got an old Klay Thompson that's going through what he's going through. And that's basketball royalty. But then you get rid of AD because he was hurt. Then Kyrie is hurt, and then you trade Luka. What was the man supposed to do? What did you expect him to do? Like, realistically, what was he supposed to do without a Kyrie, a AD, or a Luka? What was he supposed to do? If you're the coach of that team, Stat, or you're the coach of that team, Trista, and I take away Luka, Kyrie is hurt, and I trade AD, and we got a 6'8" wingman that plays small forward, and y'all are begging me to put him at point guard, you're gonna get fired. You're gonna get fired. There's no way around it. There it goes again, Stat. See how it just came full circle?
Yeah.
Got a big man playing point guard that ain't really a point guard. Somebody gonna get fired because the game gets away from you. There's a reason why it's called point guard and not shooting guard.
That's that. Trista.
Yeah, I mean, this is so complex because, you fire Nico. And I think that was very obviously a response to how, listen, we can't have you trading our guy, Luka. Everything related to the Luka trade has got to get erased. So they get rid of Nico. They get rid of AD because he's essentially the other side of the Luka trade. So we can't have you around. Your trade value is next to nothing, but we don't care. You're going to be out of here. And you're injured all the time. And now it comes out today because Jason Kidd was playing around and told us he didn't know nothing about the Luka trade. Shams Charania reports today on the Pat McAfee show that Jason Kidd was lobbying to get Luka traded.
Yikes.
So he was the one playing Littlefinger behind, trying to pull the strings, saying that he couldn't win a championship with Luka. So Masai Ujiri from the Toronto Raptors gets there. My guy Mike Schmitz from the Portland Trailblazers gets installed as the GM. And they're like, the last piece of the stench and the disappointing move that we have to move on from is anyone connected with that Luka trade needs to go. Because the fan base will never move on if those snakes are still lying in the grass. So let's cut the grass, get rid of the snakes, and start fresh and acknowledge that we fucked up. And anybody who's around that fuck up is gonna go. And so to me, yes, like Mace is 100% correct that Jason Kidd was not in a position to coach in any meaningful way with that roster. But that was Jason Kidd's bed that he lays in.
I like that. See, I can live with this. I can live with that kind of correction, right? It's just straightforward. There's no hiding in it. I like that, Trish. Welcome home, Trish. Welcome home. When you get to New York, welcome home, you know?
So when you get
I love
to New York.
Good. This is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about what she's saying when it comes to Jason Kidd. I did not know that. I was not privy to that information.
Yeah, it just came out today. Yeah, it just came out.
And we was talking about Sham the day. If they're dumb enough to play around with Luka, trying to bust moves behind the franchise back, you gotta go. You can't have people working for McDonald's not putting salt on the fries or trying to remove the Big Mac off the menu. The Big Mac is why we're here. If you don't like Mickey, don't work for Disney, man. I don't get it. Like, how you in Dallas talking about get rid of Luka? Like, yo, you're bugging out.
If you don't like Mickey, don't go to Disney, bruh.
No doubt. We're trying to get rid of the Big Mac.
Like
that was
Mickey.
game.
Yeah, this is how people think. People are that delusional that they think they're that gifted that you can get rid of the reason why you're there. Don't play yourself. Don't play yourself.
Words of wisdom from Mace. Don't play
Mace
yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. I always say that's why they got the pen and the paper. They can, the bars.
Yeah, don't play yourself. No, for real, it's like thinking that you're not gonna need the person that's the reason you got there. You're going to need them at some point. Like there's something to it that though you grow, right? Though you grow and though you evolve, like this is just life. Like sometimes when I'm speaking, people are so delusional and they're so small-minded that they try to put this on, let's say somebody I know, or they thinking of another person or personality or athlete, and they be like, oh, Mace was talking about this. No, when it's a truth, moron, it's for everybody. It doesn't change for anybody. You don't point it at one person. When this is the truth, it's the truth. If there's certain music that I made, right, that I can never recreate that music without Derek Angeletti right there, without Kuda Love. Why? Because these are the people I got the energy from. I may be the person that wrote it, but it's the energy of the people that you're around that bring you those records. Sometimes people be like, yo, I did this by myself. No, you didn't. Because we could put you in the studio with a whole nother group of people and you're going to be different. It's just like Stat. She's this way with us. If she goes somewhere else, it may even be better, but it won't be this because the people you're around give you energy. They give you vibes. So if you were dumb enough to play around with Luka, you're not the vibe for the Dallas Mavericks. And they had to get you out of there.
Said he had to go. He had to go. First of all, what was he supposed to do? And now it's like, he might have had to go. I don't know. You gotta know what Mavs fan thinks. I know Michael Irvin probably thinks strongly about this too because Dallas been going through it across all sports.
That's who we should have had on camera to ask. Mike from the Glass House. Mike, what's going on? Mike would have said, oh yeah, he had to go.
Or not. I don't know. Mavs fans, let us know in the comments down below because I know y'all probably feel strongly about it, but y'all have felt strongly about a lot of the things that have happened to y'all's team over, I would say, still a short period of time. So let us know what y'all think. But y'all, that is all the time that we have for today. Trista, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Yeah. That. And also in the comments, let us know that Jalen Brunson nickname because we need it, okay? We will see what we like, what we don't like. We need some options because I'm trying to know. But Trista, always a pleasure.
That, just know that the energy that me and you bring when it's, you, me, and Mace, it brings out a very philosophical, nostalgic version of Mace where
Yes.
he gives us the musical game.
Yes.
And I am grateful to be here in these moments when he
Yes.
does that. And I'm grateful that you are a part of that too. It's Gemini season.
It is
Happy
Gemini
birthday
season.
to Stat in advance. Happy birthday to me in advance next week.
Yes. See, we celebrate all month and next month. What, Mace?
Shout out to all of the Knicks fans. Shout out to
And shout out to the Knicks.
Shout out to Sin City. Shout out to Josh. And shout out to St. Nick Projects, Drew Hamilton.
Shout out. He said
And a
shout out to
little bit of
everybody.
Shout out.
Foster,
Shout out to everybody. We will
Wagner,
see what happens
Polo Grounds.
tonight. Okay. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
Jalen Brunson still doesn't have a nickname, and that's officially a crisis now. New York, we need y'all to lock in. Drop your suggestions in the comments, because right now, the man is out here carrying a franchise with zero nickname to show for it. That's unacceptable. And if you don't like Mickey, don't work for Disney, might be the best sports analogy said on this show all season. Don't play yourself. Simple as that. Maze pulled out the Atari story, and honestly, we learned more about game consoles today than we expected to. Duck Hunt is apparently a real memory for some of us, and a total mystery for others. We didn't even get into everything, with the Mavs and Dallas fully. There's more to that story, and it's going to keep unfolding. So we'll be right back on it. Drop a comment. Give us your best Jalen Brunson nickname pitch. We're actually reading these. Like the video, subscribe. Happy early birthday to Trista, and shout out to the whole Knicks coalition. As always, it is what it is.